Welcome to Lesson 1 Continued of Graphing Linear Equations. We have already looked at graphing linear equations in various forms, but here we'll look at graphing oblique lines that have the form ax plus by equals c. Now an oblique line is just a line that's neither vertical nor horizontal, it is slanted. So we have already looked at graphing oblique lines before, it's just we never called them oblique. So a line, something like this, where it's neither horizontal nor vertical, is what we call oblique. Now the equation will look something like 4x minus 3y equals 9, where the x and y variables are on the left side of the equation, and the constant term is on the right. So example 1, we're asked to graph 3x plus 2y equals negative 2. So typically when equations are in this form, you'll be given a table of values and be told which x values to use. So we need to plug in x to be negative 4 to start, and then we need to solve for y. Now 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Now isolating y means we need to get rid of that negative 12. So I'm going to do that by adding 12 to both sides. So I get 2y is equal to 10. Now I need to get rid of the 2, and I can do that by dividing both sides by 2. So I end up with y equals 5. Now I'll go through that procedure again, this time replacing x with negative 2. So we get negative 6 plus 2y equals negative 2. So I'll add 6 to both sides this time. 2y equals 4. And then I'll divide both sides by 2. And that gives me y equals 2. And I'll go through this once more by replacing x with 0. 3 times 0 is 0. So we just have 2y equals negative 2. So once again, I'll divide by 2. And then that gives me y equals negative 1. And I'll tell you that the last value is negative 4. So you can try plugging in x to be 2 into the equation to see if you get a y value of negative 4. So the first point I'm going to plot on my graph now is negative 4, 5. So I start the origin. I'll move 4 to the left and up 5. So right here would be the first point. Negative 2 and 2 would be right here. 0, negative 1 would be right on the y-axis. And then 2, negative 4. Since this is just an equation, we always assume that it's continuous, and so we join up the points. And we can put arrows on the ends to show it continues in both directions. Next example, I have 3x minus y equals 4. So for this one, I'm going to start by replacing my x value with 0. So we get 0 minus y equals 4, which is just negative y equals 4. Now to get rid of a negative in front of a variable, you can divide both sides by negative 1. So y ends up being negative 4. Now I'll replace x with 1. Doing that gives me 3 minus y equals 4. I'll subtract 3 from both sides. So negative y equals 1. And then dividing by negative 1 gives me a value of negative 1. Now for x to be 2, I get 6 minus y equals 4. Subtract 6 from both sides. I get negative y equals negative 2. I'm going to divide by negative 1. That gives me a value of 2. Once again, I'll just tell you that the last value is 5, so you can check that yourself. Now for the graph, the first point I'm going to plot is 0 and negative 4, which is right here. Then I got 1, negative 1, 2, 2, and then 3 and 5. So using a ruler or something straight, you can join up those points.